Heyo everybody, it's Johnny5 Alive here, and welcome back to some more Project PlanCo. We're over here in Ellie's Frontier. As you guys would have saw from my speed build from high noon in the previous video, I decided, hey, we'll just go to Western and get her in and finish up Western. Originally, I planned for this area to be the last area, and that was because Batch and I were unsure what we were going to do with this boarding station, and if we had time to maybe possibly redo it, and I squeezed it in. We got it done, so now we can finish up Western. It's not the end of Western. There'll be future things to look forward to, such as this quick draw ride here. AKA Superman has sent me some voice lines, and I still have to get some voice lines from, I think, Batch and Chant. Then I'm going to stitch all those voice lines together in post-production, and we're going to fully voice act this shooting ride. It was a 15-minute shooting ride, if you guys remember when we featured that like a while ago. It's the longest shooting ride we've ever seen in Planet Coaster history, and now it's going to be fully voice acted. So 15 minutes of a voice acted experience over there. That is going to be absolutely gnarly. I'm going to be working on that while Batch is doing the polish, as well as a few other things, because I wanted to see what we're going to do about the audio for the Dex R coaster, as well as something else. There's something else I need to check into. Anyways, we won't be showing off the voice acting here today or anything like that, but I want to get the Western done so that I can start prepping it. As of right now, we're 83% placed. Between these next 3 episodes, we will get it all done. So roughly 6 to 7% per video here. Let's build some stuff here today, you guys. So I kind of want to save the best for last. Meaning mine. I'm just kidding. So we'll get mine out of the way first. And I don't know what the best is for last, honestly. I just, let's get mine out of the way. And then we can get to some better builds, such as Chant, PKU, all these other legends in this community. So, yeah, so I just want to explain this here. If you didn't watch the last episode, we wanted to PlanCo-fy this build here. So I went back to the drawing table. This was originally made by Kiara. I just want to give credit where credit is due. I thought that the only thing we really didn't like was that it was like a kind of a plainish brown barn on the outside. Wasn't a lot of pop. The only color on this is Miss Ellie. So that was the main feedback. That, and it looks like haunted. But the actual interior is actually phenomenal. And I really like the way you have done all this. The interior is far superior to the one that I had made, for sure. And I like the back viewing area where you could see the coaster going by while you're in the queue. There were a lot of these elements that were really, really good. And I wanted to like try to take them, but my building is actually a lot smaller. It doesn't come all the way out to here. These little girders here, I want to give credit to KR because I really like them. So I pulled them out of her build and brought them into mine. And I was trying to see how much of KR's interior I could include into the new build. And that's about it, because the roof is so much taller on this one. There's a lot of verticality here. And because the station on mine ends here, and then it's all a balcony, I couldn't really squeeze all this in. This build is just a lot bigger on the inside. And I gotta say, like, the interior is great. If we could have somehow gotten the outside to be a little bit plankified with some color and pop, I would have been very happy with it. I think the build itself, especially the interior, is pretty great. It just needs a little bit of color. So we did in the last video a speed build, kind of building it. Originally, this was my plot, and I was going to do something here for Zafor. And being able to do something for Zafor, building his station, his very last coaster, I got to build the station for, and then I got to tie it into this. So because I got to do a bit of an homage to Zafor here, I didn't really need to do it over here. So I just did a little memorial site. And so this is kind of like a 2-for-1 blueprint. I packaged it all into one. And yeah, so we're going to place it now. Hopefully, I didn't upload this to the workshop or anything, but I might upload like the Kirby or something. I don't know. I guess I could put it on the workshop. It's not that important though, because it's in the park now. But yeah, this is just a local save blueprint of mine. Now, if you watch the speed build, I have made some changes just before starting this recording here. There was like a bit of green that I didn't paint here. So I changed that. A couple pillars I didn't color. And then I'll show you the rope system that I added in. Now, I got to make sure that the floor, I think that's all lined up. All right, let's place it. So yeah, I'll change it to 11 a.m. Get some light on this. High noon. So since the last video, I added in all this rope system and these bolts so that it looks like the airship is tied down to the building. Then they can untie it, cast the ropes up, climb up the ladder, and then board the ship. So one thing I got to do here, I got to give credit, and I'll show you guys this here. I didn't actually build this airship. If you would have saw in the last video, I hodgepodged it together. So this is an airship created by Rohana. As you can see, it's very similar. The balloon shape is there, but the boat on the bottom is different. So Rohana made the top, and then I downloaded this, and I liked elements of the ship. Obviously, it's a little too much. It's a little too crazy, but the boat was really nice. So I hodgepodged the bottom of this ship to the top of Rohana's ship to create this. And that second ship was created by Purple Skin. So what we could do here to commemorate these two builders for helping me out with that airship, that airship would have taken me all day, and the build already was like a 9-hour build, and I was falling behind on videos. So I was like, okay, like I need to cut a corner where I can, and that meant cutting the corner on the airship. What we're gonna do here, we're gonna take the build by sign. Actually, I'm gonna bring it up a little taller. We're gonna duplicate this, and then we're gonna go. Oh no, it crashed. I don't even know what to say. That's 3 times in what, 4 or 5 episodes? Heyo everybody, it's Future Johnny here, and I just wanted to report in. There has been a delay in videos on the channel recently, specifically Project PlanCo I've been tinkering with over the last week. The park has kind of been put on indefinite pause due to the crashes are getting so bad to a point where I can't really do anything in the park without it crashing, and I'm trying to work backwards from different saves, rebuilding the park, trying to come up with solutions on how to fix the park. Also tried messaging Batch. I haven't heard anything from him yet, hoping he might have some ideas. The latest version of the park is currently uploaded to my workshop. If you have a good computer, go ahead, give it a download, see if it's crashing for you, or see if you could figure out how to prevent the crashes from happening. So I'm going to continue on with today's video, and I also have a fantasy one, and we're probably going to just do one a week for now, and I'm going to just keep trying to work at resolving the issue, even if I have to go back several months to an older version of the park and build it back up from there. But we're going to try and work through it, fingers crossed, but really sucks that this is happening right at the quote-unquote finish line. Anyways, super unfortunate. I'll see you guys. Future Johnny reporting out. Oh boy. So I rebooted up the park, waited 15 minutes, placed down the build again, went to build that builder sign, crashed at the exact same set of commands, and waited 15 minutes, and I'm back here again. So half an hour already gone. I don't know what else to try now that the crashes are being so consistent. I had this theory from game testing that the only thing that we've changed is this build that uses a glitch to make the walls there's like a glitch, and my theory was maybe this is causing the crashes because it's the only glitch that we've introduced into the park since. So I'm thinking, yeah, what's down there? Some triggers. Let's get rid of those. So the only thing I have selected here is the haunted house. I can easily just place it back in. It's not a big deal. If my crashes stop after this, then we're good. But the data might be in the history list, so we don't know if that is particularly going to work or not. I'm not entirely sure. I just don't know what else to try at this point, so fingers crossed. I also have reshade off, and I did have it off when I replaced this building, and I'm just extremely worried now. Maybe Batch has better luck than me, and for whatever reason his RAM and CPU isn't crashing with the same set of back-end data. It could just be that the park is hit its limit, but I swear Candyland had just as much stuff in it, if not more, and I was on a worser computer, and it never crashed on me. I don't think Candyland ever crashed once. So the crashes, this park had never crashed on me either. Somebody said it crashed back when I was doing the TMTK news channel sign. So it could. That's also one big difference between this project and Candyland, is the fact that we are using a lot of Thememaker Toolkit. But how much have I added in since? I'm not entirely sure. So I'm just extremely nervous because every crash is 15 minutes, and I can't exactly work while I wait. And then it just really throws a shoehorn in my day, because I've been at this computer for a couple hours now and I haven't even produced anything. I try to go make some thumbnails and stuff when it crashes, but there's only so much of that I can do. If I don't have any recordings, I don't have any screenshots, I can't do thumbnails. This is where it crashed before, and I noticed that like it was, see how it like waits, like there, it slows down and it waits for stuff to open. I push an action when it was doing that, so it's like, okay, if I push an action and wait, and then I think I'm good now. I just have to do everything super slowly, so I don't. And we push play, crashed. Oh no, it didn't. I thought it crashed. It just went super silent, so I was like, oh no, it crashed. Okay, what was I doing with this? Let me open up my window here. Now I've lost it. Okay, build by Rohana, done. Wait, I gotta do everything super slow. Edit, wait, okay, click. And then the other person who made the bottom of the ship was purple skin. So we're gonna go and purple skin dot. So I wanted to show it, but now I'm just kind of like terrified. It's like I got the build in and I'm gonna save it. So if it doesn't crash, it's not necessarily because I deleted the haunted house. It might just be because I'm not doing too many inputs at once. When it's trying to open up a new menu and you hit something, you know, we're so used to working fast, but when the game slows down, it could be that input that happens when everything is loading that causes the crash. You're kind of like interrupting the script command, and I guess with all the data that's flowing through the scripts and all the information caching in the background for all of these objects, that could be causing the crash. But I was able to get the sign in this time, and I don't know if it's because I went a little bit slower or because I deleted the haunted house. It could be either or both. It could, you know. So, like I said, we can add the haunted house back in at the very end of the project, or Batch can make a new one. But it's probably just safer. Like if we're doing a park tour, I'm not going to be building anything, but I will click on a coaster. I know when we did the Tiki Gulpy coaster, I went to recolor it and it crashed. So, you know, I will be clicking a coaster and hitting test, close, open, test, and that stuff. And if I do too many actions, it might crash. So as long as I'm doing the park tour, when I get to a coaster, I do an action super slowly, get on it and take my time, we should be able to present the whole park. The crashes seem to be happening when you're doing too many actions building quickly. This is more than decent of an interior. Yeah, it's not as good as KR's. I wanted to give a shout out for KR for doing this bit. I took that from your build and I wanted to add as much as I could from your interior, but my interior's like half the size of the old one. So I can't really add it in. Plus it's not as tall, right? So I can't get all that upper stuff in. So yeah, it's like, well, what can I do? Like, yeah, I could make some walls and stuff, but then it becomes claustrophobic. And I need this sight line so that you see Ellie between the legs here. And that means I can't really put any walls in. So I have my little bar here. I got me and Zafor hanging out. I got this other little bar here. So that's like more than enough for me. Like, is it a detailed queue because of this? Not really. It's not bad though. Like when you come into the building and you check it out, it's decent. I've seen worse queues, but the important part is it screaming high noon now? And I definitely feel like the colors, the vibrance of it brings a little bit more attention to, you know, a focal point and ties it all together and pops a little bit, especially when we have some of these like woodier, neutral, monotone buildings. Even this one has color. It's all one color and it's a bit neutral. And same could be said with this, but I like the green pops. I think that was a really nice touch. So we have color around, but not like a popping amount of it. So with the Ellie's quick draw, we have those reds and greens. I do think that pops a little bit, and adjacent to it we have some colors here. So the more color the better in terms of like bringing some life to Western. Anyways, so that's my build there. I guess I need a builder sign. I'm super scared to place one though. I did save it, right? So and I also have to add one in for Zafor. So how do I do this? Yeah, this is how I was doing it before, right? Well, no, I'll put it out front on the rock, I think. Man, I just have this like pit in my stomach. This just awful feeling from those double crashes. And I'm waiting for it to crash around every corner. And I'm just scared. Like, it is not a good feeling. Especially when you've worked on this thing for the last 10 months of your life, you know? And everybody's waiting for the finish line here. And it's nerve-wracking. Very, very nerve-wracking. So we got that sign in. We need one for Zafor. I'm gonna put it inside where you see it when you're coming up the queue. I just don't know where. I'm gonna put it like right here because that is the entrance. Slow actions, edit, slow, don't do anything. Click this and we're gonna do ride. Wait, what? Oh, I clicked the wrong one. Ride, Z4. I think there's a couple of these that I forgot to do around the park. For some of the main attractions, I will take a look at them again. And now we save. It might seem a little bit ridiculous to save after almost every action, like placing 2 signs. But the thing is, if it crashes, I'm going to get hasty. I go, let's just get these signs in because I got to work back to where I was, right? And so I'm going to be a little bit impatient and then I'll end up rushing it. And then it might crash during one of these simple actions again. Ugh. So yeah, it's annoying. I'm a little disheartened right now. Anyways, we're just gonna keep going. We got some builds to get in here. Chant, the wonderful Chant, has made us one for plot 08. Let's go and dig that up. And it's called Wagons and Wheels. Now, Chanty Chant didn't build it in the park. She made it off to the side or something. So that means the rotation. When it's at the rotation and you build it in the park, that means it saves and it uploads in that rotation, which means the alignment cubes are perfect. So it's a little bit weird that I guess she took her plot, took her alignment cube, brought it off to the side, rotated it, and then started building. Not that that's the biggest issue. It's just hard to, when the cube is not at the center orientation, it gets a little bit harder to align it because the rotation's always going to be like 1 degree off, which you can see it is 1 degree off there. So if I like rotate it this way, it jumps. It wants to jump. So it's very, very tricky to get the rotation right. But I think we're like about within half a degree at this point. So I can live with that. What about our world axis? No, it's like the complete opposite. So I have to move this in at angles. Oh my God. And that is a pain in the absolute butt. Come on. Okay, I think I got it close enough. Yep, that's pretty good. And then we just bring it to the right height. But the wagon wheels look floating. Are these floating? They are. So we're going to go below the volume cube. So even though... Bring it down even more. I'll just take a peek around and see if anything else is floating. This all looks pretty good to me. What about this side? That's floating a little bit, but the wagon's not floating. We could fix that with terrain, but if I were to bring it down more, everything else is going to start to sink. So... that is the problem when you pull it off to the side and build it. You don't get a sense of the natural terrain, right? You're like, oh, it's probably flat like my volume cube. No, your volume cube is flat. The terrain is not. So you building it to that terrain is quite important. Amateur. Chant is such an amateur. All right. And, oh boy. I'm actually going to save it. Part of me, now that the haunted house is gone, is wondering, like, are the crashes gone? Or is it just because I'm doing everything extra slowly? And part of me wants to just, like, dial it up and go quick again, just to see if it still crashes. Because then that would, in fact, mean that the haunted house was a non-issue. And it's just this park has too much crap in it. And we just have to work slow. Methodical, carefully. Okay, we want to bring up this terrain just a nudge. So we're going to take the terrain intensity down. Now, I could probably do a flattened to foundation. The path is too close for the terrain to go up. So we got some floaters. I'm just going to paint this back in. We're going to manually fix the floaters, do everything super slow. Just bring it down. We need this little barrel. Bring it down. Now the build itself I think is floating, but I can't bring the terrain up because the terrain will not go up when there's pathing nearby, but it's barely floating. It's okay. All right, we got Chance building. Don't really have the sunlight shining on it, but a very solid build. I love the color pops on it, the different pieces. You got the wagon barn, wagon shed here with all the wagon wheels. I guess they're building wagons and stuff, and all these different pieces mashed together. So it's definitely not boxy, very dynamic, angular. But then you have this separate bit here that you've added on. That was part of her build, right? How could I forget already? Wait, or was this another build? I have to check now. No, there was a build there already. That's right. Okay, there's no build by sign, so I was getting a little confused. So it's just this one over here. Yeah. No, it's a very solid, and I actually quite like the blue. Unintentionally, it kind of goes with High Noon over there. Yeah, get some blue in here. In fact, now that I see how much the white pops on that blue, part of me wants to change the High Noon colors to white. But I do like the consistency between the two signs being the same color. But that white does definitely pop on that blue very, very nicely. And I'm just afraid that if I do that... But the thing is, my build has no white. There's like no white at all. So there's more white here with the tie-in of these banners and stuff. So I think it works better over here. Welcome to the Hitchin' Place. Oh, there's a pink penguin. Nice job. Alrighty. Okay, let's drop a save and keep going. Now, lucky, we're at, 80-something% plots placed. If it kept on crashing like this for placing the plots, that could be scary, problematic. So what are we looking for here? 02, which is Jareen 2. Okay, from the thumbnail, it's this one. Oh, remove the cube first. Yeah, so... Oh, this person did the exact same thing that Chant did. Didn't build it in the park. Why do you guys do that? We gave you an optimized version of the park that is easy to open on any computer. I even built mine in that version of the park, obviously because I didn't want all these crashes. Even though I have the actual park file, I didn't want to mess up the park or accidentally click anything or whatever, or just work in the lag. And I was also worried about crashes, obviously. So it's very strange that you guys are rotating it, taking your plot, taking your cube, moving them off to the side, and rotating it. Don't quite understand that. Maybe you're rotating it so it matches that with the world axis, so everything comes in perpendicular? Is that the logic? That's the only thing I could think of. Okay, the pizza bandits have made it over here, the James Bond pizzas. Was Jareen the one that did that James Bond pizza ride? That's hilarious. I'm not mad at it. The pizza bandit has made it over to the western area of the park. Pizza Penos Casino? There's a gun sticking out of the window? Huh. These windows are floating, by the way. They're not attached. And I'm so scared to fix them. But that one in particular, I gotta fix that. All right. So you use the painted wood, which I'm now familiar with. By default, it comes in green, and you just decided, hey, I'm gonna go with that. Seems like everybody working with the green painted wood just leaves it green. As you can see from this one was added elixir green, but also this one. But you can recolor those. But now we're getting a lot of green over in our western area. So kind of good that both Chant and I use a little bit of blue, bring a little bit more color in, but very interesting. I think for me, personally, one of the most fun parts of doing a build, once you get the build looking the way you want it, you kind of get that fun factor of coloring it in the end. Oh, you have a made by sign. I'm just gonna leave that then. You have your own. It's one less opportunity for the game to crash. I think we have one more build here today. Ellie's Frontier. This is the big, saving the best for last, the most important build for last. We drop a save in. All right, it is the big caboodle. Uh-oh, did I just crash it? I clicked it really fast and hit delete and nothing happened. So I was like, oh crap. Here we go. It is the, oh no, I think we have a bridge. We'll do this first. Where is it? Did I not subscribe to it? BKU 87. There it is. BKU. I see arrows. We'll take a look at those arrows in a sec. Oh my god, this is looking epic. The park entrances are probably the most exciting builds to place in because they kind of like solidify the vibe. It's, it sets the tone before you actually enter in to the area. So it's a very important build right here. Let's get that in. By Gunslinger. I thought it was like build by Gunslinger. I'm like, who's Gunslinger? Miss Ellie is watching you. Oh my god. Look at these towers. Wow. Woo. And you put the build by sign. Thank you. That's one less opportunity the game has to crash. What's this say? I don't want to delete the alignment cube yet. Horse thieves will be shot. Oh, wow. I love these gates. Very heavy-duty gates. Very interesting. You did your own bandit out of basic shapes. Not mad at it. Kind of similar to what I did over there, but mine's a silhouette. You actually went with like the cartoony details. Very well done. That looks pretty good. Pretty good indeed. And we can pretend that this is the bandit that we do on the shootout. I don't know if you guys communicated that or not, but there is a villain that's on our shooting ride. Very, very cool. There's a little bit of crashing into the mountain here. I'm wondering if I should clean that up. Let's go ahead and just give it a couple little nudges. Just so ever slightly. There we go. Oh, you can see the guts of the coaster a little bit there. Should be good. I love the pass-through. Zafor originally designed this in, and I was like, wow, doing this boarding station is going to be tricky. But, whoo! I think we got to ride Zafor's coaster here today, you guys. You know? It was yesterday at the time of this recording that I did my speed build, and I worked on that thing from the time I woke up to way later than I should have been. What's this? Supports can be removed, saves 33 pieces. Supports? What supports? You mean these lanterns? That's 33 pieces. No. We'll leave them in. You mean can be removed? No, we'll leave them in. Oh, what we didn't do, let me save it. I didn't see how many pieces my blueprint here was. I had a certain amount of pieces. I think it was a few hundred for this whole plot. I think it was like maybe up to 500, but the station was 1,500. So there's, I did a piece count. My build with the garden, the Zafor, the rocks, as well as the station, and the blimp was 2,000 pieces. But the blimp is 1,000. So it depends on how you look at it, right? I added the blimp in as an extra, which was technically not a part of my build, but a part of my composition. So basically, if we deleted the ship, that's my station. But I just wanted some extra symbology for Zafor sailing off into the afterlife, and I thought an airship would do that. Plus, I wanted to do something with my composition. Had I not gone with the airship, I was going to do a water tower here. So that was kind of my backup plan. But we put the water tower back here, and I like the way the blimp turned out. So the blimp isn't technically part of my build. So my build altogether with the garden out front and the station is 1,000 pieces, and then we have a 1,000 piece blueprint, airship added in after, and yeah, so I don't know how many pieces this was, but if it was 500 plus the 1,500, I came in with exactly enough with the airship included. And I didn't get to show this because the game crashed, but I was saying that the build here is by Rohana and Purple Skin. Did I show this? I don't know. We'll see. But this is Rohana's blueprint, right? And it's a little crazy, and the boat's very big. You can see how big this would be, and it wouldn't have fit. Then there was this one by Purple Skin, and it's also just a little crazy. But I really liked the daintiness of the boat. So you guys saw me mash them together in the previous video, and so obviously I just did a mashup and modified them, but I didn't build anything. I took straight from Rohana and Purple Skin to make this, and that's why they're being credited for this blueprint. And in some ways, I look at this as a plot, right? This is a plot. Rohana and Purple Skin got their own build in the park as a bonus plot, and mine is just kind of underneath it. That's kind of my explanation there. So I sort of manually added in my own plot, but I went way under my part limit because whatever this was plus this was only 1,000, and I was given 1,500 and maybe even 18 or 2,000. So I could afford to do that. Point is, if Batch is watching this, I didn't go crazy with my part count. I tried to follow the rules just like everyone else. I didn't go, this is it's in my hands. I can do whatever I want. I'm just gonna go crazy, and you know, it is what it is. I wanted to challenge myself to try to get the build under. Anyways, back to this build by BKU87. It's awesome. I love all the red, white, and blue. The America. This is Western America over here. I always was thinking we could have done something for Just Ribbon, because Just Ribbon's also got that America stuff going on over here. Just Ribbon. So he could actually have been a Western character. It just as a fun little backstory, when we were originally planning everything out, what do the characters look like? Where are they going to go? We were going back and forth, like, do we want Just Ribbon in the city, or do we want to put them over in the western area? Because our western area really only has one character. Just Ribbon would have worked really well over there. But originally, these areas were supposed to be super small. We had this area here was going to be it, and it went crazy with the ride. So we figured, okay, small area, just Miss Ellie. Then our ghost area will be really small, and it's just King Ghoster. And it just so happens that the two smallest areas that were only focused around one character only each, I think ended up being the biggest areas in the parks. Well, sort of. The ghost area has underground and above ground. It's definitely not as big as Western, probably not nearly as big as Sci-Fi, but maybe even arguably equal to that of Fantasy, or yeah, that sort of thing. So kind of funny how it worked out. I'd say all the areas have an equal amount of awesomeness, while Western is very, very dainty and small in terms of plaza area here. It's got the craziest ride in the park. So smallest area in the park, biggest ride in the park. Then we have some other stuff where it's like big area. And this, I'd say this is more balanced. It has like a lot going on over here, a lot of walking space, as well as a massive ride in the background. You know, even our little dainty Tiki Island, very compact. There's a lot going over there. So I'd say each of the areas has a well-balanced amount. If the area is small, it makes up for it with a ride and that sort of thing. It's turned out really great. Pretty happy about it all. So we have one more build to get in, and that's gonna be our W10 bridge. Let me see who did this one. Coaster Gnome, and I think I have it subscribed. Coaster Gnome, there it is. Let's go ahead and delete the volume cube. Is there no alignment cube? We don't have an alignment cube over here. Okay, let me undo that. I think I have to eyeball this one. Yeah, I do. There's a bunch of setup signs. Let's see what these say. Blue cylinder, touch the running rails. How do they touch the running rails? They're too fat. Oh, I guess, oh, I see touch on the inside. Okay. I think this builder realized, Coaster Gnome realized that they didn't have a volume cube. So, what's this? Is that a trigger? See. Now, I'm a little bit, I know I lined that up, but there's other orientations, like back and forth, right? So, is there any guides? Oh, we just got to make sure that they line up all the way through? Okay. But is there one over here? There isn't. This feels off to me, doesn't it? Like I want it to go more over here. But if I do that, it slowly offsets everything over here. Yeah, this one is a real pain. Huh. The curve isn't perfect to that of the rail. It's lined up there, there, but not here. But how do I fix that? I don't think I can. Let's see. Now it's still lined up there and there, but I did move it a little bit. I think that's better, but it kind of like comes close here, but not too bad. I'm pretty satisfied with that placement. It looks like it's filling over the volume cube quite nicely. Let's just commit. I didn't check if it was height. The height was right. Yeah, I could have gone down a nudge. Is it all one piece? It is. So let's get the height in now. I don't want these rails to be lost. The boards from the train. I think that should be good. Whew. I'm still scared of crashes, but we haven't had one yet. Fingers crossed. Knock on wood. And let's go ahead and set this trigger. Added trigger 6. Which way do I loop it around here? Yes. Okay. Trigger sequence 6. Have I been naming Coaster Gnome my triggers? Connect objects to trigger. We're gonna grab this. Oh no. There we go. Confirm. And done. Cool. So we done that. I think we're good. So we're gonna go ahead and delete this guy's guide rules, as well as the old volume cube. Drop a save. I'm not seeing a builder sign. And which way does the train come? So the train comes forward this way. So let's go ahead and grab a sign from Dana. We're going to put it here because you'll see that as you go by on the train. Coaster gnome. Done. Okay. Very unnerving episode here today because of my multiple crashes. Let me get one more save in. But my unedited recording currently is clocking in at 40 minutes. So I was able to go 40 minutes without any crashes, but I had 2 back-to-back right away within like the first 10 minutes. So I don't know if deleting Batch's haunted house worked or not, or me just being a little bit slower on the controls, but we got through it, and that's important. So if I'm able to get the rest of the plots in, let's go ahead and go to the sheet and take all of the Western builds and mark them as placed in park. We are now at 87%. So I know we're going to go to the sky plots. I kind of want to do fantasy next. We've done a lot of sci-fi, and I'm really excited for the Missy Goods. So we have a park entrance and a coaster station, 2 hero and a flat ride. So fantasy is very exciting. Although, yeah, I was going to say we could end with a bang. We're also waiting for this, and I believe somebody's working on this. Enigmandra. So I'm gonna have to contact them, and I kind of want to get that in for the final video so that we can ride the Missy Goods coaster again. So I'll message Enigmandra and see if I can get that. So Western is done. All the blueprints are in. Let's turn Reshade back on, and I have to yeah, there's like a bug here where it like does something weird, and then I gotta do this. Okay, we got Reshade going, and we're gonna push play. We are gonna go ride High Noon. Fingers crossed this shit doesn't crash on us. So let's go. I didn't really comment on the bridge, sorry. Oh, it crashed. No. Has something to do with play mode, I guess. Too many things are playing. And I wasn't building anything. I was just walking. And now I'm starting to wonder, can we even present this park? We definitely can't live stream it. I don't know what to do. 3 crashes in 1 hour. Not good. So I noticed that the log flume was on test mode. And when we put it into play mode, it's possible that the mod that Batch used to launch this log flume might be causing the crash, or like there's too many things happening at once that everything on play mode is just crashing. So we know it's probably not that haunted house, so I'll replace that in a future bit. But it could be Reshade because I turned that on, but it could also be play mode. So what we're going to do here is we're going to go without Reshade to kind of eliminate some of the possibilities. Plus, I closed the log flume down, and now all we can do is try to go on this coaster with Reshade off and the log flume closed down. Hopefully we can fully ride this coaster. If I can't ride everything with like it just sucks for presentation. I would love to open up the park to all the guests and just go. I don't know what the solution is. Maybe Batch has a few things up his sleeve that he has thought of that I haven't. I don't really know. But here we are. We are at the High Noon coaster. The full Western area is in. Let's throw this into test mode and give it a go. We'll do seat view. Whew. Here you go. Safor's final coaster build. Oh, I forgot to turn my smoke and graffiti on. They should be automatically on, which is a little bit weird. Maybe they didn't get imported. Right through the boarding, the park entrance. Love to see it. Let's go. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. High noon. Beautiful legendary creation from the one and only legend themselves, Zay4. There's a look at the western area, fully completed. We got all the builds in, and fingers crossed that just the log flume is causing the crash, but we did ride that log flume in a previous video when we finished up the spooky area. I just noticed now that the Gulpy coaster is still in test mode, so, and also the train is in test mode, so maybe there's just too many things going on in play mode. Let's just turn everything off, and I don't know if there's any other coasters that I forgot to turn off. Is this one turned off? It's in test mode as well. So as I'm doing these episodes and finishing up these areas, I am testing the coasters for the end of the video, and I'm not turning them off. So we have triggered events coming over here and over there, and yeah, that was like 4 rides right there that were all on loop. Do we have any others? What about this? We did the Christmas one a while back. Yeah, that one's moving too. Okay, so process of elimination, like what have I done differently? Well, I've been testing rides and not turning them off. So that might resolve our problems right there. But for final presentation, that means we can only test everything one at a time. Everything's gonna have to be stationary, I think, which is a big bummer. Big bummer, but it is what it is, right? What about our Chief Beef coaster? I think that one's on pause. I wanna say it is. Yeah, it could be. I don't even, the coaster state, yeah, that one's on pause. Okay. Yeah, that might be the reasoning right there. Let's hope that that is the case. What about our shooting ride? Is that going? No, it's not. I think everything that I could possibly turn off, I have. Dex R coaster, that's on test. So what about Cosmic Cow? That one's off. So yeah, I just shut down like 5 or 6 rides. Whoops. That one is a part of the presentation. The coaster going around the King coaster there. We gotta leave that one going. We gotta leave the monorail on. We gotta leave the car traffic on. So that's all like immersion stuff. Not much we can do about that, but maybe all of the triggers on those rides, something happening, 2 things happening at the same time, causing somewhat of a glitch. So last but not least, before I end things off, I'm gonna need to turn Reshade back on. And another thing is the music. I don't know how much of an impact that has, but I want the areas to have immersive music. So Miss Ellie's Frontier, we're gonna have to make that the hero of the video here. I think I could delete this alignment cube. The thing is, this takes up the whole thumbnail. Is that a problem? I don't know. It would be nice to get a bit of all of it. Maybe like come in on an off angle. Damage, off angle. I wonder if anyone knows that reference. If not, that is awkward. But that is the reference. This might work as a thumbnail. That's a look at the western area. Ellie's Frontier, amazing builds from everybody here today, and another look at the High Noon coaster. So there it is, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day, and we'll see you all in the next one. Bye now.